For the first time in over 6 decades, the Indus Waters Treaty has been suspended and the gates at the Attari Wagah border slammed shut. The development follows a brutal terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam, where at least 26 people were killed and many injured by heavily armed terrorists. The attackers are believed to be linked to the Resistance Front, a Pakistan-based terror outfit. Following intelligence reports confirming cross-border involvement, India has launched a multi-pronged diplomatic and strategic retaliation. In addition to halting the treaty and closure of the border, here is what has been announced. Revocation of SAARC visa exemption for Pakistanis, expulsion of Pakistani military attaches, halving diplomatic staff strength at both high commissions. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri stated that the treaty will remain in abeyance until Pakistan takes credible and irreversible action against terror networks operating from its soil. So let's understand what is this Indus Waters Treaty. Signed in 1960 and brokered by the World Bank, the Indus Waters Treaty is often cited as one of the most resilient water sharing agreements in the world. Even during the wars of 1965, 1971 and 1999, the treaty remained in force. Under the agreement, India controls the eastern rivers, Ravi, Beas, Satluj, and Pakistan gets the western rivers, Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. Approximately 80% of Pakistan's water originates from these western rivers, which are crucial for its agricultural and drinking needs. So now, what does this suspension mean? Although India has not yet cut off water flows, suspending the treaty removes the key diplomatic restraint. India could, in theory, begin planning new dams or reservoirs on rivers that flow into Pakistan, projects currently limited by the treaty. That said, such infrastructure would take years to have an impact on the flow. So the immediate impact is symbolic, but strategically very potent. It signals that India is willing to weaponize water diplomacy in its fight against cross-border terrorism. But the question is, can India legally end this treaty? Not unilaterally, it has to have mutual consent. The treaty doesn't have an exit clause. Disputes are to be resolved through a stepwise mechanism involving the Permanent Indus Commission, neutral experts, and, as a last resort, arbitration. However, the caveat is that India could invoke Article 62 of the Vienna Convention, which permits treaty withdrawal under circumstances where the treaty has fundamentally changed. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has summoned the National Security Committee meeting to discuss in detail India's irresponsible actions, that's what they're calling, after what Pakistan called the Pahalgam false flag operation. Pakistan, already grappling with climate change, groundwater depletion, and poor water management, any future reduction in Indus water flow could tip the scales toward a serious water crisis. Social media, meanwhile, is buzzing with reactions. Some call it a long overdue move. Others fear Pakistan may see it as an act of war. So the big question now is how Islamabad will respond, with diplomacy, denial, or defiance. Stay tuned as we bring you the latest updates on this.